What is going on, everybody? It is the Digital Cypha Podcast coming at you on another Saturday morning, 10 a.m. with my boy, Dio Zales. What's going on? What's going on?
Good morning. Feeling
Good
great to be
morning.
here.
Yeah. Man, this week has been interesting. Do we say that every time? Yo,
Yeah, right.
it's been crazy. It's been crazy. So just to start things off, what you're seeing here is Dreamcaster. Dreamcaster was released this week on Game Pass. I was a little bit skeptical about playing the game because it talked about nightmares and stuff. You know how I feel about nightmares and games. I didn't want to get scared, you know what I'm saying, as they say. But anyways, it's not bad. It reminds me of that one game that we played, Dio, with the guys that were faceless and you can fight them. You can fight people.
Ashen?
Ashen. It reminds me of Ashen, but
Okay.
like roguelike Ashen. Like dungeon
Yeah.
type. It was pretty cool. Awesome. So that's what we're seeing right now. But Dio, what's going on? How was your week?
Oh, it's pretty great. Can't complain about it. I actually played some Dreamscaper also.
I was trying to surprise the brother.
I couldn't help it. Once I read that it was a roguelike, I was like, oh, I gotta try it out.
Okay. Yo, it would be nice if it was multiplayer, like at least co-op, two-player type. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, bruh. Okay. What else?
I played some of that Taikono Taijujin, the Drum Master.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. It kind of reminded me like those days when I used to play Dance Dance Revolution and stuff.
Wait, what?
Um,
You?
yeah, back in the day. Yeah, back
You
in the
got
day,
moves?
that's what I used to do.
What?
I used to play that. I used to play Pump, the Korean version.
I'm just
Yeah.
laughing because of the name. Okay.
Oh, you never seen Pump before?
Never.
It's like Dance Dance Revolution, but instead of having the 4 steps diagonal and vertical,
Yeah.
vertical and horizontal, and Pump it actually goes diagonal, and then there's one in the center.
Wait,
so you have five.
wait. Is it like you have three boxes in a row and then there are three columns? Like, so it's basically 12 boxes in a box and you dance. Like,
No, it's not that many. I see what you're saying. No, it's not that many.
yo, I seen some people play on that joint. It's like, yo, you gotta have some footwork on that joint, man. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I knew people who were so good and memorized that stuff so bad that they would play it backwards without looking at the screen and play it that way.
Yo, that's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right, man. Yeah, the only thing, let's see, did I play anything this week? I mean, outside of Dreamcaster, dude, I just been rolling on just, backward compatibility games, man. Halo
Okay.
Wars and stuff like that, dude. It's been a crazy week, especially at work. Usually I'm working on PCs and then I'm back in the call center, so it's just been dealing with troubleshooting issues remotely and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't once I hit the house, man, I'm like,
I know exactly how you feel.
do I want to play? Do I want to watch a movie? Fall asleep on a movie? Yeah, it's just one of those type of days, man. So yeah, I've been entertaining the strategy type stuff. But I'm gonna say, Amazon is raising their prices, dude. They're going from $12.99 to $14.99. So those who are using your Amazon Prime to pay your favorite Twitch subscribers, man, there's some keynotes. Took this online. If you're looking to stay within the $12.99 for another year, you want to sign up before February 18th. Right, these are new people. You want to sign up before February 18th. If you are an existing person, you want to gift yourself a year of Prime before March 25th, because that's the day when existing people will be bumped up to the $14.99.
Okay.
Now, if you are a student, I'm not sure if you're like faculty, staff for like universities and colleges, whatever. Maybe it might work. By all means, give it a shot. But if you are a student, you get to pay $60 a year, and that's pretty dope.
Whoa.
That's pretty dope.
Okay.
That's almost half the price, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
definitely jump on that before February 18th or March 25th if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. Other than that, bro, did you hear about Twitch and the Minecraft situation?
A little bit. What you told me about it?
Yo, so Twitch kind of stopped this streamer. So here's what happened. The streamer notified Twitch that he received in dollars $1,500 worth in bits. And the streamer was like very happy and everything, you know what I'm saying? So he was concerned though. He was like, yo, Twitch, check this out. I'm just worried that, some kid used their parents' credit card and decided, and paid, the streamer. And he didn't want to be considered fraudulent and then, chargebacks, whatever, because then that goes against, Twitch, terms of use or terms of service. Twitch in turns, what is it called? What they do? It's almost like a strike in a sense where they stopped the whole thing. They kind of like said you did not follow the terms of service, so they basically stopped all his whole bits or whatever. Made it look like it was his fault, like all of this happened. You know what I mean? It's like Twitch can't get a break, man. It's like they do some stupid stuff and then they have to track back. So, and I quote, because these are coming from other streamers, one Twitch person lost his partner status because of this, and he can't earn any money anymore. So that's one situation. Another situation was a sheer lack of communication from Twitch, which another person's account was hacked and huge donations was made with it, right? So we got other people who has been, compromised because of similar situations, and Twitch is kind of like just, veering to the side, like, hey, that's your account, that's not ours. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to use your own stuff. I don't know, man. I just think with YouTube embracing streamers now more than ever, Twitch has to really man up. They can't think 5 years ago when they were the only people. They got Trovo. Trovo is like
starting to pick up.
Exactly, but they're king over in the Asian communities, that's for sure. And then now you have, Americans and South Americans and the UK picking up. Yo, so now Twitch, YouTube, Trovo is coming in. Yo, what you think, Dio? I mean, what have you seen so far regarding the streaming platforms that concerns you?
So understanding this situation in particular, I find it weird. Like I can understand having that like service stop, right? Like where he's not getting paid until the investigation is done. If this was picked up by the algorithm, right? Like, because of course Twitch, YouTube, whatever is gonna have a certain algorithm to be like, hey, usually you only have this amount of viewers, but now all of a sudden you have this many viewers, or usually you only get this kind of donos or subs or whatever, but now you're getting this. Like, because if there's like a big jump, it might look fraudulent. It might look like bots, right?
Yeah.
So I could get that, but this guy self-reported it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that individual incident should have got, maybe blocked until it was investigated. But to stop it completely, that's a really big mistake.
The thing about Twitch is like their algorithm to me only exists when there are numbers of streams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you go to Twitch, it just shows you people who have the most numbers of like population of watchers, if you will. And then there's no monetary, like who's the highest revenue. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference for Twitch to show that type of content, right, to other people. It's like, oh yeah, this person is making crazy amount of money on Twitch, maybe you should join in and pay their pocket. But the only streaming platform that has a legitimate algorithm will be YouTube, for discovery purposes and ads and those type of things. You would figure. Mm-hmm.
I would like to think that they would have it at least for their own research, right? Like, and not just blindly ban or block people and stuff like that. Like,
Yo, but
you would
that's
need some kind of data collection.
but
I
that's
would think.
crazy though. If they had an algorithm specifically for their own thing, because then who knows what it's for? Is it protecting them but not the gamer or the watcher? Or both. You know what I'm saying? Like it so and then it becomes an issue of, okay, should we go back to the algorithm and tweak things? You know how much money it'll take to do that?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, it's definitely cheaper than like having people actually do the investigating, right? Because at that point it's passive.
yeah, yeah, gotcha.
But
Well,
yeah.
big congrats to Pokemon Legends. Arceus, right? They have sold 6.5 million units.
Wow.
I have not. I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I have been tempted to because of this game. I've seen my boy Kage Boy and his community, definitely jump in and play that game, online on Twitch, and it's very enticing. So, mad congrats to Nintendo for that. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, it really looks like they tried something completely new with the Pokemon formula, which has been the same pretty much for like decades. So
Yeah, the only one was what was that? Silver was it? What was it? The something on Silver, the other
Silver
Pokemon game.
Soul? Or are you talking about Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield. My bad. Sword and Shield. I think that was the highest grossing one, wasn't it?
Oh, possibly. I could see that.
Yeah. So mad kudos to those guys. Believe it or not, though. I got some news here that Hideo Kojima has a podcast.
What? Really?
Yeah, dude. It's being hosted by Audible, and
Okay.
of course, it is in Japanese. So to all our Japanese, listeners, that's mad kudos to you guys who are Kojima fans. And the idea is that hopefully down the line somebody would do some form of translation, some fans or whatever. But
So that's Amazon Audible, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So more value to that Prime package, right?
exactly.
Right there.
I think his first podcast kind of talks about Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding. So
Sweet.
yeah, I can eventually see him start talking about his ideas, cinematic ideas and influences and things of that nature. So, most def, that'll be some good listening as well, for sure.
100%. Especially for people who are very interested in storytelling and maybe even making their own video games that are story driven. Like, that's definitely the brain you want to pick right there.
Yo,
in my opinion.
that makes you want to get into some Japanese culture as far as like understanding the language and writing and stuff like that. Just to be in that conversation, because of course you want to ask questions, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, man, mad kudos for that podcast by Hideo Kojima. Dio,
Yes.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. What's going on with Star Wars?
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. Yo,
Uh-oh.
I feel like, this episode might be going so fast, dude. So there's a leak about
Okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Okay.
I think this is a show.
Yes, on Disney Plus.
May 4th, 2022.
Really? That soon?
There was a Twitter leak, and I think somebody was just talking, not probably casually, something about the show, and then there was just a date at the end. It's assumed, what I'm saying, that it could be May 4th, 2022. Of course, May the 4th. Especially.
Oh yeah, right.
Exactly.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be sick. Especially since the show that's on right now, was it the bounty hunter guy? His name
Uh,
is in my head, but I can't say it right.
the Mandalorian.
No, the other one.
That well, that's the name of the show, the Mandalorian.
No, the one that
But
came after
his name is
Mandalorian.
the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes, that one.
That's already out.
That one is.
Wow,
I think it's
I'm
supposed to.
everything.
I think it's supposed to end this month. I think the season is supposed to end this month or something like that. So
Oh wow.
so they might be introducing, some form of talks with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Well, I'm pretty sure they already started like making it because they I know they definitely got Ewan McGregor as the original well, not the
Mhm.
original, but from the first trilogy. They got him to play him in the Obi-Wan series.
Well, you know that there's a comic being made, right?
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. That would make sense.
By Marvel.
Okay.
So,
it makes
yo,
100% sense.
that killed me right there. I was like, okay, where do I buy? You know what I mean? Because that's sick. And then the comic will tell of the days of his Jedi initiation. Well, when he was an initiate, towards when he was exiled on Tatooine. So, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be nice.
That's a huge timeline.
Well, let's just make sure it's not a short comic series, right? You know what I'm saying?
It better not be. That's a lot of material right there. Oh man, because I would definitely love to see his training under man, what was his name? Wow.
What's
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's gonna be cool.
that's gonna be nonsense, yo. Oof, yo. I mean, I don't even know if I have more news. But
Okay.
we going back to these news so quick, man. I wish I had more information, but some of this stuff was just like rumors and stuff like that, so I can only pull as much as I could. So we know that Activision was purchased by Microsoft.
Yes.
Close to 70 billion dollars. The question
Yep.
is why? Why did it do it?
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, from an opinion standpoint, I mean, they definitely on what's it called, an interview with a news channel. I can't remember if it was Fox or CB or NBC,
Mm-hmm.
but I know for sure, like when Phil and when
Satya?
Bobby,
Oh, Bobby. Okay.
yeah, when they were talking to like the news reporters, like Bobby was really talking a lot about the metaverse. So
Okay.
I definitely think it's for the studios themselves and the IPs, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is definitely gonna help Microsoft push their metaverse in whatever direction they're trying to get that in line with Microsoft. I mean, Activision Blizzard.
According to Phil Spencer, right? So I think Satya Nadella and Phil Spencer have two different viewpoints, which is fine.
Okay.
Which is fine because Satya Nadella is looking at it from the Microsoft perspective, and of course Phil Spencer is looking at it from Xbox. So according to Phil Spencer, they needed to make a move in a space that they have not, had a huge amount of community in. So they gravitated towards Activision because of King or Candy Crush, the mobile genre.
Yes. Makes sense.
Which is cool, which is awesome, right? Because then that lets us know how xCloud is going to be playing on mobile devices down the line. If let's say Google Play and Apple Play Store, how that's going to integrate with the xCloud because of Candy Crush, because of all the other mobile games that has been underneath Activision's library. You can see some integration, which is definitely cool. Satya Nadella spoke about the metaverse and how he believes that it is a multitude of communities, communicating and experiencing, each other in different venues. So that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get to. So Xbox needed to make a move in a direction, a space where it didn't have a strong investment. The constant conversation has always been about mobile and casual. The goal of
Yeah.
the goal of the acquisition is to increase the number of players on Microsoft games. The longest goal for us, and this is Phil saying, says, do creators on our platform feel like they have the best opportunity to reach the maximum number of players with the maximum creative diversity that they need? This is all from some news articles that I found, so this is not me.
Yeah.
And this really helps the gamers understand where not just Phil Spencer, but where Xbox Game Pass is going, where it's about, hey, giving the developers more creativity, giving devs time, and also giving gamers that sense of nostalgia with their favorite developers, right? Because they know, hey, this developer's making it, it's going to be awesome because they remember the previous games that they've played. What do you think about that acquisition based on this statement?
Well, it makes 100% sense, especially on the mobile side, because that was the main reason Activision Blizzard bought King in the first place, because they wanted to start going in that direction as well.
Mm,
So they were already geared in that direction. And when you look at Blizzard, what they've been working on, like literally like a year or two ago, they announced Diablo Immortal, and
okay.
now you hear even about them saying, I mean, they already put Hearthstone, which is a World of Warcraft IP, but it's separate from World of Warcraft itself. But they've
Mm,
already announced even this week that there's going to be more Warcraft
exactly.
stuff coming out on mobile. Whether there's World of Warcraft support, but there's also going to be even separate games from World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. So we're going to see even more of that. This really does just fall in line in that. I would imagine we're probably going to see StarCraft as well. I mean, Call of Duty mobile was because of this whole integration also with King, and Call of Duty mobile was like very successful.
Oh yeah, very popular.
Yeah.
Wow, cool, man. So phew, can't wait to see what they do with Activision. Speaking about, didn't you say something about Call of Duty and how they're switching some things up?
Well, I know Activision Blizzard is going to bolster the Call of Duty lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of the fan base is kind of tired out, right? Like almost like it's a little too much to have like a yearly game like how they've almost been doing for a while. But it looks like they're kind of doubling down on this, which is kind of strange to me because you would think that even though Call of Duty is very successful, they need to kind of maybe stagger it a bit more,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just so people don't feel overworked, especially like when you see like how Vanguard did compared to like Cold War, and then compared to Black Ops 2 like remaster.
but then Vanguard is still, even though it did poorly compared to sales,
Hmm.
based on I guess their projected amount that they wanted to receive, I guess, it still sold so much, you
Of
know.
course, yeah.
And then people are saying that they probably pay Vanguard more than Battlefield 2042 because of all the things
Yeah.
that's going on. So I mean, you can't say Vanguard is a failure, as far, not a failure, but like can I say failure? Uh,
It's definitely
um,
not a failure.
you
It's
know,
just not what the projections predicted, right?
right? You know what I'm saying? So my thing about it is the reason why I didn't get into Vanguard was because of the weapons. I'm more of the modern day to future type weapon type stuff. The
Okay.
running on walls is fine because I really like Titanfall. You know what I mean? But I couldn't, when it comes to like the old school type of experience, I think Vanguard didn't really catch my fancy in that sense. Um, but to bolster Call of Duty production, to like have more Call of Duty stuff, I can see it to where they would have Call of Duty, let's say this year, Infinity Ward, but then they have like, a mobile experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or I.
Or
Mhm,
even if they, because I mean, they're saying they're gonna bolster it, but
mhm.
in kind of, like, I know one of the things they said was like groundbreaking all new experiences. So with that, are they willing to be brave and maybe even try other things besides first person shooters, like maybe like a tactical RPG, like turn based one, like how Gears of War had that one, right? Like what was it called?
No, RTS, not RTS.
Like not RTS, but it was turn based. I just can't think of the name now.
XCOM style.
Yes, something like XCOM, right? Like, sure, that would be a bit scary for them to go in that direction, but it might interest more people to try it out and then be willing to go back to Call of Duty, but also give them a fresh, a breath of fresh air, try something different.
I think
If they go that kind of route, I think it'll be a lot smarter.
And it would probably be cool if they did what Microsoft did. Microsoft put it on PC first, right? As like a test bed, not really to test, the functionality and like beta, not really like a beta perspective, but to see the level of interest in the game. And then they released it on console and other platforms as well.
Right.
Like what is it, xCloud or whatever?
Gear Tactics and stuff.
Gear Tactics, yeah. So I mean, it's a safer choice. I agree. That'd be cool. I mean, I would think VR as well. If they went VR with it, or the whole quote unquote metaverse perspective, but having Call of Duty be the thing, that would be kind of cool, actually. But that's me, just my mind is starting to expand as we continue talking about this, right?
Yeah,
So,
I just hope that with them saying bolster, that doesn't mean like they're just gonna keep pushing them out yearly. I hope that means that they're gonna, like I said, like grow in different directions, because this is from something like Bobby Kotick said. With Microsoft's scale and resources, we will be better equipped to grow existing franchises, launch new potential franchises, and unlock the rich library of games we have assembled over 40 years. So to me, that means like it sounds like, now that they have Microsoft, Big Daddy Microsoft to like kind of support them, they'll be willing to take more, artistic,
risk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at least that's how I'm taking it. Maybe I'm being hopeful there. I just hope they don't go the wrong route, in my opinion.
Well, here's my question then. Speaking about that, is because of these acquisitions, can we truly say that creativity and artistic innovations in gaming would be a risk if Microsoft have given them the money, functionality, and time to implement these things? Is it truly a risk, or is it just now, hey, do you, and let's see, what you were made to be as a studio. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the thing that Microsoft is trying to remove, is risk, and improve the ability for these studios to become more innovative. All they need is that money and time. So I mean, like you said, with Microsoft money, they're able to cultivate these things, where the risk is not really the situation. Now speaking,
I guess.
Go ahead.
I mean, I guess like the last time you could say Activision Blizzard took their own risk with Call of Duty was like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, right? And that wasn't very well received. So maybe they're willing to try different things. I mean, honestly, when I was playing Call of Duty Cold War, I didn't realize how much other stuff that they've added as like kind of like mini games within Call of Duty. I mean, everyone knows about zombie and PvP, but they even have like this like top down like shooter, like how you call it, like a bullet hell.
Okay.
That you could play in Call of Duty, and I was like really shocked that they had that in there. But if they were willing to like actually make that its own like separate IP within the Call of Duty universe, like its own separate game, but that actually had the quality to stand on its own two legs, like people might be willing to take that risk, because I mean, look at how well what was that one game that came out on Game Pass just a while ago, the bullet hell, The Ascent, right?
Yes.
Like that did very well. So imagine something like that with Call of Duty, storyline and atmosphere, but with like kind of like The Ascent, like progression.
Even better.
That could do, yeah.
Even
do
better.
very well.
Imagine Call of Duty stepping up to Ubisoft's Rainbow Six Siege.
True.
and then having all, I wouldn't say having operators, right? But Call of Duty has classes in it, and then being able to project those classes in something like Ascent, or have, or having, because
Ooh.
exactly, and then also consider something like Call of Duty where they do something like Siege, but it's kind of like the competitive side of things, because Call of Duty multiplayer is cool, but
Yeah.
Call of Duty multiplayer is old. From the perspective of how long, like, and no disrespect to anybody that likes Call of Duty, but it's kind of like the same thing all the time, but different maps and different, weapons and stuff like that per generation. Or per sequel of a game. So
Yeah.
to have to change it up to where it competes with Ubisoft, right? And how it deals with its own multiplayer, not to be stealthy, because Call of Duty multiplayer is not stealth, but to be a little bit more competitive, esports like,
Yeah.
on that type of level. I can see where they're saying they're bolstering up those productions for that kind of thing, where they're looking outside the box, because now they got the money, now they got the innovation, the technology and innovation to do something like that, thinking outside the box. This will force Ubisoft, to get off their behinds and actually do something now with Siege, and
Yep.
instead of what did they call it? The new game that came out,
Extraction.
Extraction. Because to me, Extraction, I don't know why Extraction exists to me. I don't know. Maybe
I mean, to me, it still should have just been a DLC. I don't think there's anything wrong with it inherently, right? It gives people another way to play, but to sell it separately just doesn't make sense at all.
Got you.
That should have been something that was directly linked to Rainbow Six Siege,
Yeah.
where you and your boys, you did your PvP for the day, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's
chill.
go kill some monsters for a little while, and do that. That would make more sense.
It's definitely a chill game, for real.
Yeah.
So that would have definitely been a better DLC joint.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay.
What's up?
So Sony bought Bungie.
Yep.
It's kind of weird, because that acquisition feels more like a partnership than an actual acquisition, because usually with the acquisition you'll be like, exclusive.
Yep.
Right. But the way how they went about it is that Bungie will be doing its own thing, the same way how ZeniMax
Digital
and
Activision, pretty much.
exactly. So first and foremost, what is your thoughts about Bungie's acquisition? Sony's acquisition with Bungie.
I think it's great in its own way. The
Mhm.
fact that hopefully this will give them that good FPS, developer that they really need, because it's just weird, like, to me, that the pricing of this, it's almost $4 billion, and Microsoft got ZeniMax for about almost 8.
Okay.
Like, to me, I mean, comparatively, and this is my own opinion, I feel like they overpaid, because you look at ZeniMax and all the studios and all the IPs it has for $8 billion, and then you look at this acquisition, this is half. So they don't have half the studios, they don't have half the IPs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Bungie, Destiny, and maybe 5 other IPs that people don't even really remember. I remember Oni. I loved Oni when I was a kid playing on PlayStation 2. But I don't think people are lining up like, oh man, I can't wait for Bungie to make a new Oni, So
Oh wow. So
it's a very overpriced buy, in my opinion, especially when, how you just said, it sounds more like a partnership as opposed to a straight out purchase. Now, if Bungie is able to deliver a lot, besides just Destiny 2 maintenance, because when you think about it, the only thing they've been doing for the past 10, 12 years is Destiny, between Destiny 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So if they're able to keep maintaining Destiny 2 while maybe helping bring Killzone back into light or Resistance back into light, and then making, because we gotta remember too, Sony's more than just PlayStation, maybe creating a Destiny TV series or anime to add some value to PlayStation's version of Game Pass,
Mhm.
then sure, this might be a good buy. But I don't know if Bungie could do all those things at one time.
Well, so hmm. I so Bungie, the way how it seems to be is Bungie's kind of working their games of a service type of foundation for PlayStation. So
For sure.
the way how I look at it is that when we think about Xbox, right, we think of Halo, and when Halo was developed, Halo Xbox Live was partially inspired. I won't say partially because I don't, because that would be not giving Bungie the level of respect due, right? Bungie,
Yeah.
I would say 50%, and then Xbox 50%. We're talking about, if you look at the documentary, how they wanted to bring Xbox Live into existence with Halo 2. But Bungie helped cultivate Xbox Live into Xbox, as a platform. So to have, Bungie underneath PlayStation, now we can see Bungie say, okay, yo, your chat system, your voice IP, your ways of communication should change to better facilitate your other partnerships with Discord, with Twitch, with YouTube, because then, we're looking at how games as a service would integrate with these different other services that needs games to generate money, right? So I look at Bungie facilitating those or giving those tool sets to PlayStation to help PlayStation become competitive to Xbox's Xbox Live service. Now,
Sure.
how would that play a part with everything else? I mean, maybe Killzone might come back. That's a hope.
Yeah.
And then didn't Sony also did like some form of copyright or trademark for streaming and community interaction to streamers or something like that.
Yeah.
So, now this brings a point when before Bungie was acquired, Bungie had plans with Google Stadia, right?
Yep.
And because we're gonna get into Google in a minute, but through Google Stadia, they wanted to create a streaming platform. This is Bungie. So we can see where Bungie's technology or Bungie's piece of work, I want to say, because we don't know where it sits, with Google Stadia may be utilized through PlayStation, and whatever PlayStation is doing could then capitalize on that. They probably had plans and did that trademark. Now, Sony, who purchased Bungie, I'm saying Sony because they're the one with the money, is is shaking hands with Microsoft and the Azure cloud. So, we don't know where things are gonna go. As far as we know, Bungie is saying they're gonna still collaborate with Stadia, but then we still have to consider Sony and their communications with Microsoft. So, but yeah, man, I mean, we don't know. That's
I still feel like it's a lot of money to pay for a live service, because I mean, when you think about it, even if they're buying this because they need to compete at a live service level with like Epic Games and Microsoft, right? Because I would say that that's probably like your two big ones right there. Because I mean, Microsoft has like Minecraft, that's considered like a live service game. You have Sea of Thieves, that's a live service. Elder Scrolls Online is a live service game that Microsoft owns now. So is Fallout 76.
What I see potentially happening, and I don't know if this can be a thing, but because of the talent within Bungie, I can see Bungie by the influence of Sony, divide their studio into parts and integrate themselves into other studios in Sony, because you're talking about 300 people, 300 plus people, right? And then influencing.
I think they have like 600
Oh,
employees
six.
actually.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If that's a number,
they're actually
cool.
a pretty big studio. Yeah.
But imagine that though. I mean, if because it only makes sense if you look at what Microsoft is doing, and Microsoft is saying we're sharing our technology amongst everyone that's been acquired, right? And they're just saying technology. They're not saying studios, but I can see PlayStation doing that because let's look at what happened with I'm not sure if it was EA. My bad. I was about to get it mixed up with EA, but
Oh, with a frostbite.
yeah, with Battlefield, they took Criterion. I think it's Criterion. I could be wrong, but I think it's Criterion. They took Criterion and I have Criterion help with Battlefield, and then that's why Need for Speed got delayed, right? And look at gosh, that studio. The studio helped with The Last of Us, but was it The Last of Us?
Dog?
Yeah, I think some studio helped with Naughty Dog, and then they were taken off of another project, right? So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
so I can assume that Sony would then do this. They would say, "Hey, Bungie, because of your talent and your skill set, you have 600 people, right? We divide that into parts, and then one goes to Naughty Dog, another one goes to San Diego studio, like what's the name? God of War. You know what I'm saying? And just to get the games of a service going for different games.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And then everybody's pipelined into Bungie as a Bungie team is kind of cultivating the network and the servers and all this other stuff. Because let's be real, not everybody's happy with the server that Sony has when it comes to how they communicate, how gamers communicate with each other. It's not on Microsoft level. So since Bungie has that experience, why not, right? So
I just wonder what kind of other games they could make a live service. Like Killzone, I could see.
mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about Resistance because honestly, I never played that one. I can't see God of War being a live service, or Horizon Zero Dawn.
I could see Horizon Zero Dawn being a live service.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's all about the one girl.
Yeah.
In the story.
I mean, all they gotta do is what is it called? Expand the story, because she was a part of a village, right? A village of hunters. So
but she's the only badass though, right?
Well, then they'll make some more badasses.
I just wonder if that would upset their original fans or not.
I mean, they don't have to call it Horizon Zero Dawn.
Of course not. I mean, but it's gonna be related to it, right?
I mean, God forbid they call it Horizon World, right? Or Horizon Online. But they,
I don't think so, probably.
And man, my toes are getting frozen here. Man, it's cold. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here and I'm trying to speak, and then I'm realizing I'm getting my toes are getting numb here. But anyways, what's the name of the game? The Indiana Jones like game. It crossed my mind.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Uncharted.
The Nathan Drake or
Is
whatever.
it Uncharted?
Yeah, I think it's Uncharted. Yeah.
Uncharted. So I mean, look at that, because you have a female player and you have a male player as well. So if there were experiences that they can invoke as games as a service, they could do that as well. But let's get away from the exclusives. Little Big Planet. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. For sure.
And then other games that may have been PSP, they can bring back. Exactly. So there's some other things that they can do with that. But bro, Google Stadia.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing is, bro, like I was in a space, I think I said this in a previous episode, and I was like, don't be surprised if Google Stadia comes back, right? And
yeah,
I don't
said that before.
Yeah, and I'm I try to be optimistic, because we're talking about companies with billions of dollars, right? We're not talking about like Facebook. We're talking about Google,
Yeah.
So Now, this is not to say what I'm about to say is that Stadia is going to make a giant appearance. That's not the case. But we never know where, because of a company's failure to deliver a product, they are forced to make shifts. Microsoft with the Kinect 2.0, they realized by forcing it on other people, they had to then make a shift where it became a third party product for the industry alongside the HoloLens, because I think 3. Was it Kinect 3.0 works perfectly with HoloLens for like motion and interactive and camera and all that kind of stuff. It's out there, bro. So Google's progress in turning Stadia into Google is turning Stadia into a white label platform. Rebranding Stadia into Google Stream, which was their internal name. That's where the whole Bungie situation is coming in, because Bungie was planning on using Google Stadia to create a streaming service. And when I say streaming, I was assuming that Bungie wanted to do the Activision thing and create like a portal where they can play the game and the game would launch, and they're not tied to distributing the game because they were indies, right? So they wanted to have their own type of delivery platform and save money to do what they wanted to do. So far, Capcom was interested in the white label process for delivering demos. Peloton, which is a fitness bike maker, wanted to use Google Stadia to demo their game. It was called Lane Break. AT&T wanted to use it. I'm sorry, you was gonna say something?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I've heard of that too.
Gotcha. AT&T was wanted to offer customers the ability to use Stadia for Batman Arkham Knight free of charge on the browser. And then of course we mentioned Google. Bungie, sorry. What you think about this white label process? Because this is shifting from their original plan and making a streaming console.
Yeah. It just kind of sounds like what Google kind of does, right? Whenever it has something that's just not performing as much as it wants to, it kind of just pulls out. And it kind of sucks because it seems like this is actually a quote, like, there are plenty of people who internally who would love to keep it going. So they are working really hard to make sure it doesn't die. But they're not the ones writing the checks. So, I mean, it really shows kind of like the heart is there, right? Like the people who are developing this really love the idea and want to keep going, but they're not the ones writing the checks at the end of the day. So if it's not selling, it's just not going to really go anywhere. Or at least it's not going to be a priority anymore like it used to be.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they announced they're going to be focusing mostly on tech. And they shut down Stadia Games and Entertainment Studios. So, I mean, I think that was last year where they basically said they're no longer focusing on exclusives and only on third party. And now it's like, if you want to make a game for it, you make a game for it. That's cool. But at the end of the day, we're just a white label product or device. You do with it what you want. You just pay us the money. Feels kind of lazy in a way, but is a good marketing tactic in a sense if you're you want to see if it's still viable. This is like your last hope in a sense.
Sure, like dipping your toe in the pool, right?
Right. And then hopefully something comes about it and then it innovates itself, right? Based on usage. So but clearly there's no longer any real ambition to do anything with Stadia as a platform in its own right. That's what they're saying. That's sad. Hopefully with, like I said, when people are no longer interested in the game, in the platform, the company is forced to take that investment elsewhere and see if it benefits. And my hope that it does, so that the competition becomes a lot more stronger for PlayStation, for Xbox, even Luna. I haven't even heard much from Luna yet, but
No.
that would be cool,
Well,
because
I think
then
the status thing is
Mhm.
really the amount of people who, I mean, it's not like a lot of people bought this, but the amount of people who bought into this and actually purchased games individually on this platform,
Mhm.
like this should have just been a subscription from the beginning, honestly.
Definitely. I thought it was a subscription. The
It
subscription.
was, but like you could still buy individual games.
Hmm.
Like I don't think any of those
Right,
games,
right,
at least
right.
in my opinion, like none of the games should have been purchasable. They should have all just been part of the subscription.
Right. And the thing about it was Bungie is the top selling game on Stadia.
Sure, yeah, it's free to play game, you know.
Exactly. That goes along with your point.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, if I would imagine most of the games that do very well on that are live service games that you're playing daily, not really like the single player games. I bet you the single player games that do the best on it are probably like almost like, for lack of a better word, like mobile type games.
yeah.
So it's a cool idea, and I think honestly it would make sense, especially getting packaged in with TVs and stuff, which I think they did also, right, with Google TVs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they needed to kind of branch out more, made more like partnerships with other people, also like Samsung or something.
I think what would make sense if they went the Microsoft direction and just did online through browser. They already have, what was it? They have some Android based applications that you can play games on your computer. So they can go that direction, have a subscription base that allows people to play certain types of games that they have aligned themselves with, studios wise or publishers.
True.
You know what I mean? That would be somewhat in competition with Unreal Engine, well, Epic Games and Steam. But, they just moving a little slow, like how Netflix is moving slow on the gaming side. They know where to make money. They're just trying to assess the market instead of trying to, say, oh, we're going to do this and, we're putting thousands of dollars into this. And then if it flops, you lost a whole bunch of cash. You know what I mean? Like Netflix is doing
very too cautious.
Exactly. And I think Netflix did the right thing by being cautious about it for sure. Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, speaking of, you know, like things that like are I kind of half baked. I mean, PSVR 2 is looking pretty good. I don't have a PS5 and I didn't get the original PSVR for the original PS4, but it's looking pretty interesting. And one of the things I didn't know about the original PS4 VR was that you needed more than one wire to connect it to the actual console. Where that's one of the big upgrades for PSVR 2 is that you only need one wire. And I found that kind of interesting that was even really a thing, because in my head I kind of pictured it being wireless. I don't know, like
I did too. I didn't think it had a wire. I mean, I don't have a PlayStation 5, but I would assume that the PlayStation VR was wireless and connect via Bluetooth to your either controller or no. It had didn't you have like these hand things that looks like
yeah, like little microphone things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new controllers for it look way better. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like more like these kind of like, I don't want to say circles, but like they're like these like almost like orb controller things that go around your hand, and you have joysticks in on your thumbs,
Right.
and you have triggers on it. So the controllers look way cooler and look way better, and look like you could actually have more access and enjoy the game more. So I'm definitely more interested in getting that, but I mean, I still would have to see a bit more PS5 games that I would actually be interested in, because right now it's still kind of just Demon Souls, kind of Returnal. Like once Final Fantasy 16 comes out, and we still don't have any word for a PC release, then maybe I'll be more inclined to pick up a PS5. But as of right now, I mean, even PSVR 2 is not enough for it, because is like buying a whole nother console on top of it,
Right, right.
and it's not even out yet, right?
I think to me it'd be a better experience if they, and I said this before, if they had like a, Sword Art Online, Ready Player One experience on a VR for PlayStation, because I can see like some Japanese dude doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like creating like a world where it's an RPG, everybody's fighting everybody. You know what I'm saying? Stealth and all that kind of stuff.
100%.
So if there's something like that, I would invest into that, definitely. That's for sure. Yeah, man.
Well, they don't have that for PlayStation 5, but they do have it for the PC. I think I linked it to you earlier this week. What is it called? Zenith, I believe.
I think you did mention that. You did mention that. What is that all about?
So it's pretty much kind of like whatever. It's kind of like what you've always kind of wanted. It's it is an MMORPG. It's in the first person. It's called Zenith: The Last City, and you can play with multiple people online, and you're building your character the way you want. It looks pretty interesting. Like you're actually able to fly and all those other things.
I wonder. And what let's see, Oculus? Yeah, Oculus, Steam,
yeah, you
and
can run
PlayStation.
Oculus with it.
All three of them: PlayStation VR, Oculus, and Steam VR.
Oh, PlayStation VR does have it too?
Yeah, no, they have it. They have it as, I guess you could use the VR headset maybe.
Oh, okay.
For PlayStation. Okay. Or is it on the PlayStation itself? I'm not sure, but it says PlayStation VR, Oculus, and Steam VR on their home.
Well, I don't know if you could use the PlayStation VR on PC or not, but I know for sure this game supports Valve Index, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality.
Yeah.
So, if I had VR, I would definitely be getting into this game. This looks like it's like the first true
open world. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've had other games I think on VR that were like this, but this looks like it's pretty polished, honestly. And it has very positive reviews so far.
Oh, word. Yo, this is worth streaming, to be honest. It's pretty nice.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at some VR headsets, considering getting it just for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to share this thing here, but I would have to do some weird stuff on the stream. It looks pretty cool though. Zenith.
Yep, the last city.
MMO.com. Yeah, man, it's dope. It's really dope.
And the pricing tag is not that much. It's only about like $40.
Is it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's support. I was trying to see what the pricing was. Gameplay, world team jobs. Yo, it's not giving me what I need, bro. Okay, so it's yeah, it's $30. $30 on Steam. Wishlist.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
$30
okay.
on
So it's on
Steam.
sale or something.
Doesn't look like a sale. Usually they'll cross out the 40 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you're right. It is 30.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was 40? Okay.
So,
Well, honestly, definitely worth buying. Like I said, like has very positive reviews. It looks really cool, and like you said, it looks like it's stream worthy. I wouldn't doubt that this is going to be like one of those top big games going on stream soon.
Yo, on Epic Games gotta watch out, yo, because they can turn this can be the next thing right here.
It really could, honestly. It's because it's it is like a brand new experience.
Exactly. Yo.
That most people are not having, and honestly, I think a lot of people will watch it just to be able to, like, vicariously live through someone else's experience.
Exactly. Imagine somebody screaming at you because they're watching you in first person doing something.
Watch out!
Exactly. That would be so cool.
Like seeing this makes me really like. I really can't wait for like the HoloLens to become like more accessible.
I'm sorry. I gotta show this while you're talking about it. Let me see if I can get the display capture. Do I have a display capture on here? Yes, I do. It's minimized. Let me see if I can do that and remove that. Yeah, there we go. So this is the Zenith joint here, and it's nice.
Yeah, this definitely makes me. I really can't wait for like the HoloLens to become more accessible, because that's what I would prefer to play with. Because the HoloLens looks so much more comfortable compared to like the Oculus.
Yeah. Well, see, with the HoloLens, what you're gonna have to do is you're basically gonna create a freaking big widescreen TV on your wall and play it. Like, because with HoloLens, you still see the real world around you. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So you're technically like you pinch and zoom on a wall to create your flat screen that you want to play the game on instead of actually having a TV. So the question is then afterwards, do you play with a remote control or do you actually have hand movements to do in the game? Because in this game, if it's using the Oculus, that means these things are tied to your hands, right? The two nunchucks or whatever. I call it nunchucks because Nintendo. But so what would the HoloLens provide?
Yeah.
Like Connect 3.0. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
But yeah, but this is all VR. This is open world VR, bro.
Yep. Then you got everyone like running around with their different outfits and their different abilities. I mean, you saw like some blade combat in there. You saw some magic combat in there.
Exactly. Yo, that's.
I mean, it's definitely very basic looking, but overall, I mean, this is I think what most people have been waiting for.
Well, we also got to consider that. Let me see.
And this just came out recently, so I mean, for this amount of content on a game that just came out, I mean, imagine in another like 4 years where MMOs typically hit their stride within the first like 2 to 4 years. Like this is gonna have so much. What I would be really interested in is like how is dungeon and raids gonna work in this game. I mean, I would like to see PvP as well, but
I mean, I don't think it'll be that much different than what you see it as.
For sure, but I'm saying like what makes PvP like dungeons and raiding interesting, right? Because I mean, you don't need it to be super complex, but you would have to, like Final Fantasy, for example, how they handle raiding in dungeons. They telegraph the enemy's attacks so you can like step out of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that keeps you engaged, not just the combat itself. So are they gonna have stuff like that as well to keep the player engaged, or is it just too complex at the moment, where like the only thing that you would be experiencing in a dungeon or raid is just the combat itself?
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would like the idea of like, I mean, sure, I played this on VR as well, but I would like to like the reason I would like that augmented reality instead, is just because at least for my situation, like so like my girl could watch me play it and be able to tell me stuff like, oh dad, look at that.
Word. Yeah, this is pretty cool. The concept art and everything that they put into it. Now you can see this evolving over time. Like, look at this world.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's the actual city of Zenith. So,
and I'm glad they have so many different biomes already.
Exactly. I mean, even if it's planned, you know where they're going, compared to other games where you have no clue until they say they they release a roadmap after everything as far as patching and.
So true.
Yeah, you at least know where this is going. This is a definite buy, yo. Like, for sure.
I appreciate like all these little things like the bestiary, the showing the different world stuff for the biomes. Like it almost kind of reminds me of like old school like gaming manuals, right? That you would open and like see all this kind of stuff in.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, this is their roadmap.
It's pretty cool that not only do they show like a little bit about them, but also like even their favorite games for the squad, the team.
The team?
So like where their inspiration. Yeah, like you were just looking at the team of devs who are working on the game. So it's not only like a little bit about them, but also like their games that actually influence them in their favorite games. I think that's pretty cool to see.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Dang, this dude. Sekiro. He's a Dark Souls fan. This is your guy
Yeah.
right here, dude. Game designer. Oh, you already know what it's about now. That's a game designer?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Wow, look at that. This dude.
Wow. Okay,
That's
okay.
funny.
Alright. Let me gameplay. So what else you got, bro? You hitting that
What is
top.
that? Yeah, there's actually a decent amount of World of Warcraft news.
Mm-hmm.
World of Warcraft has been starved for a lot of information for a while, but they're actually taking a very hard stand against boosting organizations.
Okay.
So boosting, if for people who don't know, is pretty much when like a guild or a group of players will help someone level up quickly or help them get gear quickly for a price, usually which is gold, but there's also people who are selling it for World War money. And these people usually in World of Warcraft either advertise it within trade chat, but they'll even do it across realms. And this has been kind of plaguing the game for a few years now, and no one's really done anything about it. And now Blizzard has pretty much had like enough of it. Um, Pretty much like you're allowed to boost on your own server. Well, advertise for it if it's on your own server and you're partaking in it, because they're trying to get rid of people who are doing this for real life money, because they've realized most people who are doing it cross server, who are advertising it with like level 1 or level 10 alts, are like, this is just a business for them, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, this is hurting that new player experience, right? When a new player gets in the game, it's like, oh, I want to be just like this guy right here, and then the first thing you see in trade chat is like, guild what such and such is selling runs for this, blah 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 blah, and then it's like, oh, so this guy probably didn't even earn his stuff. He just probably just bought it, like,
I mean,
because
but
all you see is a flood of advertisements. You know what I mean?
isn't that what the marketplace is for? Where they do that anyway? They have
It,
all
it
their crafted armor and weapons, and then they put it in the marketplace, and then they advertise it into the chat system.
for sure it is, but what they're trying to do is they're not trying to target like the individual person. Like you, let's say you're playing the game and you're trying to boost, or you're trying to like sell your goods on the game for
Mm-hmm.
gold. What they're really trying to target is like people who are like a huge organization where it's literally the same guild who's selling these boosts on multiple servers and advertising it like pretty much like hourly, because they've realized a lot of these groups are like, they're like real money trading, you know,
Mm.
and that's definitely against, you know, terms of service. Like that, at that point the game is pay to win, right? Like when you have someone
Yeah.
selling you a service for money, and
Yeah.
they're trying to get rid of that because it's really hurting that new player experience. And I
Exactly.
mean, even like people who've played for a long time, like I know for me, like it's something that I can't stand when I see in my trade chat just full of like, gold vendors or like boost vendors saying, "Oh, we're selling this." It's immersion breaking. It's annoying, and a lot of these places don't even leave it just in trade chat. They'll even do it in world chat, in other chats that has no business doing those things in. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I was playing New World, I would report them like right away, because I'm hoping that when I'm playing that game that Amazon is going to be aggressive with them as well, and not let it become like a cancer within their own game.
Well, we
You
know
don't
we're
really see it so much in Final Fantasy, like it happens, but definitely not as much. So I guess maybe that's why you can't really relate to it. But
right.
if you played like World of Warcraft for like just a day, and you sit inside like a big city, you would see what I'm talking about, and you'd be like, okay, I'm glad they're doing this.
Okay. All right. I mean, with the mobile game coming out, do you see this becoming an issue with that too?
Well, that depends on the mobile game and how they're gonna uh deal with it, right? So like, let's say the mobile game is just kind of a way to do like your chores in World of Warcraft, like for you to be able to fish or play with your pet battles, then it probably won't affect you as much. But if they make like a completely separate like Warcraft MMO for the phone, because World of Warcraft, as how the game stands now, and I guess you could probably even maybe argue like games similar to like Final Fantasy 14,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would be able to properly play with just a mobile phone without using a controller, right?
Hmm.
Like they have way too many buttons to really do that in
Right.
cooldowns.
Right.
So when they say that they're gonna bring Warcraft to the mobile, I don't. I think a lot of people are really misunderstanding. Is like they already have Hearthstone, and that counts as a Warcraft IP on the phone. What I think they're gonna do is make more Warcraft IPs on the phone. And like I said, even if they have a World of Warcraft mobile function,
Mm-hmm.
it'll probably be something just really to manage your game as opposed to playing it. And even if they let you play it on mobile, which is cool, I don't think, at least I would hope, they don't allow those players to go into like serious content like raiding,
Mm-hmm.
because I think at that point most people will feel like they're being griefed.
I wonder if they would go the route like that game called Raid.
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends, I could see. Honestly surprised that hasn't happened yet, to tell you the truth,
Got you.
because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't see it just being a Warcraft thing. I could see them doing that across other IPs, like having Diablo characters, because at the end of the day, it's like a collector, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I could see them doing that with Diablo, with
Like a
Warcraft,
gacha.
with StarCraft. Exactly, a gotcha game. And I'm I'm 100% surprised that that hasn't happened yet. And I hope it doesn't, because unless they did it in a way that felt pretty good, like how Genshin
Genshin.
Impact felt. Yeah, Genshin Impact felt in the beginning.
Yeah.
If they handled it in that kind of format, maybe. Because in the beginning it didn't feel too aggressive. I know it's been getting worse as the game goes on,
Mm-hmm.
but that could probably work. You know.
Word.
More World of Warcraft news is that they're actually taking a play out of Final Fantasy 14's book, and they're implementing cross faction. So whether you have
Oh,
Horde or Alliance characters, they'll be able to play together in most content now.
nice. I guess that's good.
Yeah, it is good. I think it depends on the player who you're asking. I think overall it's going to be good for the health of the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because then people don't feel like they have to play on one faction or the other to experience certain content.
Mm-hmm.
They could because traditionally a lot of people have been going to the Horde for the past few years because most high-end players play on the Horde.
Okay.
Even though maybe they don't like the aesthetics of the Horde, they prefer to play maybe like the Alliance races. So this will
Gotcha.
definitely help those kind of players out. So I don't know if this will be just a temporary thing or they'll keep it in there forever. I just know it depends on how they handle it. I know, for instance, like with Elder Scrolls Online, I remember how that game felt in the beginning, and it was. I mean, there's still factions in the game to this day in that game, but I never really felt that whole faction camaraderie or like pride or whatever. Even though I mean, it's just a game. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I never felt it the same way like I did with the Horde and Alliance back in the day with that game, because they kind of got rid of those lines with Elder Scrolls Online pretty early. But the game is doing very well, so maybe this is the right move to go in, especially for more PvE centric players.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, guys, thank you very much, for jumping into the Digital Cypha Podcast. Talked about a lot today. Definitely talked about a lot today. If you enjoyed the content that we provided, definitely follow and leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. So this is Ebonics alongside Dio Zales, and wishing you guys, a great weekend. Continue gaming.
Thanks, guys.